Okay everyone, so in this video I'm going to teach you how to create your own meal plan, and I also want to give you the meal plans that I currently use. So if you just want to model what I do, you can definitely do that. So I'm going to let you take a screenshot of these meal plans that I already have prepared for you. I got one for 120 pound ideal weight, and I got another one for 150 pound ideal weight. Those are the only two that I did because I can't do weights for everyone, but I showed you the ratio to do everything with, so it should be not too hard. And then I also have a cheat sheet here. So this will make it really easy for everyone to just plug in your numbers if you want to go along and make your own meal plan. So I'm gonna let you go ahead and take a screenshot of all of these documents, and then that way you can have it on your phone and easy to access. So I'll just go ahead and let you take some screenshots if you need to, and I'll get some close-ups of these diet plans for you right now. Okay, so the diet for the 120 pound is on the left, and then the diet for the 150 pound is on the right. And then to make things easy for you, here's a cheat sheet so you can make your diet plan using these numbers. All right, cool. So you're more than welcome to go ahead and choose which copy you want to do as far as your diet goes. You can always change out some meals here and there. But anyways, I just want to kind of show you how to make your own diet plan from scratch. And that's kind of why I have also this cheat sheet here, so it's easy for you to just make up your own. But again, just real quick example of weighing 150 pounds where I'm getting 30 grams of protein in each meal. And again, if you're going for 120 pounds or 180, these will be different numbers for you, obviously. But for the 150 pound diet, we're gonna have 30 grams of protein in each meal, then 25 carbs in the first 3 meals, so 75 in total. And then we're gonna try to aim for 10 grams of fat in each meal. And if it doesn't work out that way, let's just say our breakfast has 18 grams of fat, but the next meal has only 5 grams of fat, then it's all gonna balance out at the end of the day. So what we're gonna do is calculate everything at the very end. But just for now, this is what a typical meal plan looks like for me. So I typed all these things out, but I typically just scratch all this stuff down on pieces of paper. And so these meal plans just end up looking like something like this or whatever. So, but I have others that kind of printed out or whatever. But so these are just the two main ones that I think are easy to stick to, because you got chicken and vegetables, protein, you got yogurt, eggs, stuff like this is pretty standard as far as living a healthy, clean lifestyle. So, and there's also butter involved. So I use ghee, so that's what I use. And also for bread, I love the Dave's Killer Bread. It's one of my favorite things out there. And then also another thing to note when it comes to the salad dressing or whatever, I don't typically use salad dressing, but I love to use this balsamic glaze, which actually tastes way better than salad dressing will. And it's actually just a little drizzle, and you just put it on top of your salad. So this is what the balsamic glaze I get, and you just drizzle it on top of your leaves, your spinach, or your lettuce leaves, and it tastes really great. And that's actually a really low, no fat, but just a little bit of carbs in it, just a few carbs in there. It's not worth even mentioning really, but it's a lot better option for salad dressing if you don't want to get the extra fats in salad dressing. But also if you don't use salad dressing with lots of fats, that gives you the option to have a fatty protein such as chicken thighs or salmon or bison or whatever. So but yeah, as long as you keep your meals balanced, you will lose weight and stay on a steady course all day long. So, but yeah, so what you can do is basically just take the cheat sheet and then kind of look at the proteins, the carbs and fats, just kind of plug it in. So it's just okay, what would I have to do to take in 30 grams of protein early in the morning for breakfast? So typically egg whites, or maybe if you want to do steak and eggs, you can always do that as well. But I typically like to do something I want to eat every single day, so I don't have to think about it, and I buy all my food in bulk. So for instance, my egg whites, everything I get for the most part from Costco, where everything is super cheap. Chicken is super cheap at Costco, egg whites are super cheap. Everything at Costco is a third of the price than a regular grocery store. So this is great if you're going to be buying everything in bulk. So I eat the same thing every day. I eat egg whites every day, and if you look at the meal plans, I have egg whites every day, chicken of some kind. And then if I get tired of chicken, I just go switch to shrimp or something else just for, something to substitute with. But for the most part, I eat the same thing almost every single day. And once you get a hang of your diet plan, you can easily swap swap out meals, and just you'll at least have an idea of what you're doing if you go over your calories in any way. Like if you go out and have some ice cream or whatever, at least know what you're doing. So if you go ahead and have some ice cream, you have some extra carbs, just make sure you have no carbs your next meal, type of a thing. So just kind of make your substitutions easy if you're on the fly. But anyways, when it comes to just creating your own diet plan, just check out the cheat sheet and see what it's going to take for you to plug in these numbers as best as you can. So I mean, like, what do you want to have that day? Do you want to have chicken? Do you want to have salmon or whatever? And then just kind of keep a note of like everything that you're doing. So, but typically what I'll do is just like my diet plans will look like something I just handwrite and kind of scratch in and just kind of maneuver my way around and just know like what I'm going to have. So like 24 grams of protein from the egg whites, and then like the toast and etc. Then I just add everything up. So that's 36 grams of protein, 41 carbs, 18 grams of fat. Okay, cool. So then I kind of know like I only have like 30, I have like 40 more, I'm sorry, talking about the carbs here, 35 more carbs left in my daily allowance. So as far as like hitting 75 carbs. So I kind of know to keep a lookout on my carbs after that. But basically everything I do is just like, I scratch it in and I have an idea of what everything is. And again, I have a cheat sheet, so everything just makes it easier. And then also on the diet plans, it also says what's what too, protein, carbs, and fats, so that we can have an idea as well. But everything I do, my yogurt, my raw eggs I have before bed, I have a chicken here with salad. So everything is just calculated, and I just kind of do the best I can as far as being accurate with all your numbers, protein, carbs, and fats. And at the end of the day, you just kind of you add in everything what you have. So like at the end of the day, I have 155 carbs, 155 grams of protein, 79 carbs, and 45 grams of fat. So like after I add in everything total, I'll know like at least what my roundabout number is. Even though if like, for instance, this meal has 41 carbs, where ideally I have 25 already set in motion here, but I got 41 carbs in my first meal, and then like I got 31 in the next one. So that way I already have all my carbs taken up. So at least, and then the next meal has like 7 carbs or whatever. So I have an idea of what I'm eating all day long. So as long as you're still in a rhythm, you're still gonna lose weight. And again, going back to my other plan or idea for you is after 4 o'clock, start eating less carbs. So like my last meals will be like, I'll have like 3 whole eggs, which I'll cook in butter, and that's like all protein and all fat. And then like my second to last meal of the day is usually yogurt. I might even put protein powder in it, so it's like instead of 18 grams of protein, it's going to be like 40 grams of protein and only 10 carbs. So I mean, so my later meals always have less carbs, but they're still high protein. But my early in the day meals are always high carbs. So that's just, I always stick to the structure. So no matter what ends up happening, whether my first meal has 40 carbs in it or 20 carbs in it, you know, I'm going to get the majority of my carbs all in the morning time, so, or in the early afternoon. So just be aware of what you're doing as you're doing it. And this is why you calculate everything, just add everything up. But the thing about it is, like, if you do this for your first time, it might take you an hour. Like if you're literally reading every nutrition label in your refrigerator, you know, so it's like, if you're really jotting everything down, it might take a while. But like I'm saying, like this usually takes about an hour, but once you get good at this, you can literally do your diet plan like every Sunday night and do it in 15 minutes because you have all your notes all ready to go. And then you're just like changing out meals. Like, okay, instead of chicken breast, I'm gonna have like salmon. And if I'm gonna have salmon, I just know I'm not gonna have any extra fat for the rest of that meal or whatever. So you just kind of figure it out as you wanna go, but I always have a basic backbone diet to fall back on in case things get out of hand. So just go back to your original diet if you have any crazy choices that you end up going with like later on in the week. But so yeah, so what I basically do is like every Sunday I have a plan what I'm gonna do for the entire week. And if I'm tired of chicken, I'll just go ahead and just add in salmon instead or shrimp or whatever it might be. And then I'll go back to chicken because it's always the cheapest thing. So once I get tired of chicken, I go to switch it up to something else. But for the most part, I eat the same thing every day. And you just save so much money, especially when you buy food at Costco, where like literally the chicken is $2.99 a pound. Where if you go to the grocery store, typically it's like $6.99 a pound. So you're literally saving like 50% just by shopping at Costco. So eating the same thing every day, buying in bulk will always save you money. And then couple other notes. if you ever want to have milk, I always get the Fairlife milk. It's lactose free, and there's also more protein in it than other milks out there. And then I already spoke about the balsamic glaze. This is one of my tips I like to do. But anyways, I only have vegetables in like 2 of these meals. So all day long in 5 meals or even 6 meals, there's only vegetables in 2 of them. So it's not gonna be eating just vegetables all day long either. So, but yeah, everything always comes down to how you cook stuff. So chicken breast, you know, you can cook that in butter since there's like no fat in the meat already. So you can use that as your fat allowance. And then you could also, you know, put taco seasoning on it or cook it however you want to. It's always in how you cook it. So don't think you're just eating boiled, bland chicken breast all day long. Like, you can spice it up with salt, pepper, anything you need to make it taste great. And again, of course, like taco seasoning or any kind of pre-made seasoning you find at the grocery store. But there's lots of varieties that you can just kind of go with. I don't have any vegetarian options except for I could just say, you know, in the 5 meals you have all day long, I only have chicken breast really in 1 meal. Well, my current meal, I actually only have meat in one meal, but other times it's eggs, yogurt, milk with protein powder, and then I also have eggs again. So I have whole eggs before bed, and I have egg whites in the morning. So just the way I get some protein in. But for the most part, I'm only having meat 1 time out of all 5 meals. So there are some vegetarian options, not so vegan friendly. I like to use butter and stuff like that, but you can always work your way around that if you are vegan or vegetarian. And there's also another last option I'm going to give you. Non-fat cooking spray is also really great if you want to have that as a way to cook food. And then barbecue sauce, there's sugar-free barbecue sauces out there. They only have like 2 carbs in it, so make sure you check out for that. So the one that I use is this stuff, which is this sugar-free. This is really great. So just a few carbs are in it. So you could literally have chicken with hot sauce and mustard and still have a really tasty meal and spice it up however you want to. So, but anyways, I kind of gave you guys all a great idea of how to create a meal plan. Just basically plug in the numbers as best you can. And then one last piece of advice, and this is just kind of some mindset, is like, I want you to kind of think of like your protein, carbs, and fats. Like, everything is like, this is not like a diet where you're cutting back on food. Like, this is, most people don't eat enough, so you're actually going to be eating more. So what I want you to think about this is like, this is your allowance, like almost like as if every morning someone gave you $1,000 and you had to go spend that $1,000 somehow, but 400 of it had to be on shirts, and then another 200 of it had to be on shorts, the extra would be on shoes. So, but I'm just saying like protein, carbs, and fat. So every day you have a budget, which means you have to spend 30 grams of protein, like on average on every meal. But at the end of the day, you know, you're still doing your 150, your 75, and then your 50 grams of fat, or whatever your ideal ratio is, right? So, but every day you get these budgets to where you have to eat this much, you have to eat that much, you have to eat this much. So don't be skipping meals, don't be skipping calories. Always just hit your target every time the best you can. So stick with this. Look at your calories as not something negative. Think of it as a positive thing. You have to spend this much calories on all your food, and this is your budget. So you have to spend 150 grams of protein all day long, and then 75 grams of carbs and 50 grams of fat. So you have to eat this much every day. So make sure you hit your target the best you can. And again, like in my meal plans, like if you're off by a few, that's fine. Let's just say you get even if it's 157 grams of protein and 83 carbs and then like 49 fats. As long as it's in the ballpark, you're gonna be okay. But I'm just saying the best you can obviously is the best there is. So anyways, this is how you create your meal plan, and then stick to, again, like your rhythm as far as like eating 5 meals a day, every 3 hours. Keep each meal no shorter than 2 hours apart, no longer than 4 hours apart if you can. So I always aim for 3 hours. So it's just a good steady rhythm to eat your food. But anyways, I hope you found this video helpful, and hope it showed you how to make your own meal plans, regardless if you're vegetarian or vegan, or if you do eat protein in this form of meat. But anyways, this is how you create your meal plan. Hope you have a lot of fun. And again, like when it comes to other things, like if you want to add in chocolate or a brownie or a muffin, like just make sure you calculate that stuff into your diet and you should be okay. But that's how you work in some cheat stuff. But I'll mention that later on because that's actually a really fun topic to talk about. But I just want to add that into this whole discussion. Is like if you do have some chocolate or whatever, you know, half a chocolate bar is like 15 grams of carbs. So just make sure you take it out of your budget. So anyways, that's more than enough for this video. And I'm gonna let you guys get used to this idea. And once you're good at making your diets, again, it's easy to switch out meal plans and always stay within your ballpark. And then you can kind of eyeball stuff. But for the majority of times, 90% of the meals, always weigh them out. So that way you're always on course. But anyways, hope you enjoyed this video and I'll catch you in the next one.